So yeah, instructions. All right. Get this little bad boy out of there.
What's your little bad boy out of there?
All the usual markings. E10 is okay, but not E85. All right, we got a new task for today. My little water pump here, I believe is broke a rod. I don't really know. I haven't torn it open yet. I don't have time to, don't really care to. And it's probably my fault because I checked the oil on it and the oil seemed really low. I never thought this thing was actually using up any oil, but apparently it was. And of course I had the oil level sensor disconnected because it tends to malfunction and make the motor not want to run. Probably because it's low on oil. Whatever. My stupid mistake. My being a fool. I've gone and bought a replacement motor, which I'll show you here in a bit, to just be able to bolt onto this frame and put in this housing. This whole new pump all together as one unit, it's about $320 at Harbor Freight. I think the new motor was $120. So the pump housing and everything, as far as I can tell, is still good. So rather than try to rebuild this motor, which I will try to do in the future, I've got another motor that I think has good parts in it. I'm going to try to rebuild this one in the future just for fun. But for now, today, I need to get this one going because we had a lot of rain. Anyway, I'm going to take this pump housing off, and I'm going to take the motor itself out of the cage, and we'll just see how it goes. This should be relatively simple. We'll just have to see how it goes. So the first step is going to be getting the rest of the pump housing off. Now I did, when I set this pump up, I put Loctite on the threads. So hopefully that won't be a problem for me now. Hopefully not too much of a problem anyway. Let's see, put an extension on here. And I think it's a 10mm on that center thread there. Left hand thread here. Or right hand thread, I mean. Proper right hand, righty tighty, lefty loosey. That takes this center impeller off, or at least takes the bolt out. Come on, baby. Wiggle off there. She's coming. This thing normally slips right off that shaft, but I haven't taken it off in a while. I mean, that's a good thing. You don't want to have to, really. What, Emerson, buddy? Back up. Come on. Back up. Don't sit there and fuss because there's a trash can in your way. Just work around it, bro. Let's see. There's this. The key. Got to get the key out. Then there is a washer spacer. And there is a big sort of spring seal, which I thought could slip out too, but I can't get it out. 4 more bolts down inside the pump housing here that actually hold the pump to the motor. Those are the ones that are Loctited, so let's see, there's one out. Just don't want to twist them off. 2 out. 3. 4. Alright, all 4 came out. If I can get it out of my dryer now. You need a tow truck for your bike?
Yeah.
Oh, you made a tow truck out of your bike. Very good, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, now that one's stuck in the daggum.
Dad, we don't say daggum. We don't say that word.
I do. Say daggum. You can say daggum.
Daggum. I didn't know kids could say that.
Kids can say daggum.
Oh,
There's lots of variations of it that you can't say, though. Okay, so those 4 are out. Make sure you keep your nuts and your washers on each one. Now the pump housing itself, I probably got a full tank of gas in this thing too. Let's just see if it leaks. There's 2 bolts on the bottom here. Emerson, please stop. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Then stop grabbing your unit. There's 2 bolts on the bottom of the pump here, and they've actually got keeper nuts on the back side of this housing. So I might have to hold back up on them. Let's just see if I can spin them off. And I believe they're still 10mm. Emerson, please stop yelling at me. You can ask me a question, but you don't need to yell your question. Yeah, that one came loose.
Dad, was noisy.
It was tight, but it actually came loose.
That was noisy. That was noisy.
It was noisy, wasn't it?
Yeah, because there was a rat around
Damn it.
I didn't see it. I see things when it can be louder again.
Dang it. There we go. The bolt heads are getting seized up in my socket. Sweet. Got that one to come loose without getting stuck at least. Okay, so that should separate the pump from the motor. Let's see.
Dad, are you looking?
Bingo. There you go. And so your spring here, that's that spring seal I was talking about. That stays in there just fine. Woo! Okay, so that's off. The motor itself is held to the cage. Similarly, there's 4 bolts. 4 bolts in the bottom of this framework here. Now I can slide this up here on the edge of the truck just so I can
Dad, I made my scissors again.
get under it a little easier without having to tip it up as much.
Dad, I made scissors again.
You did. That's good, buddy. Those are good scissors.
Yeah. I looked at
That one's spinning the nut. That one's spinning the nut. So they're 10 millimeter. Should have a wrench
Dad,
here.
why did I take you this picture? Take the water pump.
We're gonna put a new motor on it, buddy,
Why?
because it needs one. The old motor broke. Wow. Hang on a second. Well,
What, Daddy? Why didn't?
the nuts are not 10 millimeter. The bolt head is. The nuts look more like 12. Probably some arbitrary 11 or something. Come on, seriously?
I say, come on, seriously?
A 13?
13.
13 millimeter, Emerson? Who does that? Who does that?
Who does that?
Actually, I think a 13 is kind of standard.
Let's take it.
Ooh. Run that one out. And again, as I'm taking them out, I'm just trying to be real careful. Make sure I don't drop a washer or something.
Why? Why, Dad? Daddy, I like the bigger one. Bigger. Dad, I like the bigger one.
Bigger what?
The board.
Bigger board?
Yeah.
Cool. 2 out.
Pokey.
Y'all probably can't see a thing I'm doing, can you?
Hello.
Hey, watch out. Oh, you can't see. Yeah, okay. Good. All right. Spin it around here.
Can I put my cookies in?
Emerson, do not put your board in front of the camera
Why?
because I've asked you not to.
What if I put a little bit of board?
No, don't put anything in front of the camera. There's 3 out.
Is that in front of the camera?
No, that's not in front of the camera. You're okay.
What if I was gonna get a little closer to you? And
That's
like-
okay. I like if you're here, but told you every single
I have
time.
to ride my toes real fine.
Ah! Got that one stuck in the socket again. So these are getting, I guess just because they're dirty, I don't know, but although that bolt is very nice and shiny, considering, it's nice and shiny considering it's been sitting in the mud for all that time. All right, that should have, unless I missed something, but I believe that's right, that should have the pump loose. Bingo. So there's our motor coming out of the cage. And we'll just set that down here on the ground. And we'll deal with that later. Let me go get the new motor out of the box and we'll take a look at it.
Daddy, you
All
know
right.
how to say that you
So,
could make your truck into a tow truck.
oh, my truck could really be a tow truck, yeah. So here's our new pump. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is the first time I've ever done this. I've had probably 6 or 7 of these pumps. And I know I've mentioned this before. Somebody's gonna be like, "Well, you're stupid. Quit buying them. Buy something better." I agree, but it's almost like an addiction at this point. I like them because I'm familiar with them. So yeah. Instructions. All right. Get this little bad boy out of there.
What's your little bad boy out of
All the usual markings. E10 is okay, but not E85. Comes with the old classic spark plug wrench. Man, they always give you a spark plug wrench. It almost makes you think that the spark plug must be garbage. But I've really never had a foul plug. Maybe a couple times. I've never replaced a spark plug, I don't think.
Look at me.
I've taken them out and cleaned them before, but I don't think I've ever actually replaced one. What are you doing, buddy? Towing that bucket. Okay, that's good, bud. Take that off. Sensors are all hooked up. Here's a little introductory guide on what's what in case you don't know. Spark plug wrench over yonder. And we've got here, they've got a new key actually in the shaft. It's a lot longer than the other one. I wonder, I may need to take this one out. I'm going to take this one off and use the old one just because it's shorter. This one's like 2 inches long. The other one's only like 3/4. So I think with that spring loaded. Emerson, please stop. Please stop.
Why?
Because the camera's going to pick all that noise up and it's just going to be really bad. Or go tow your bucket down the driveway. Just not right here. Please. Thank you, sir. So I'll replace it, but they do send one with it. That's good to know. They send a key with it. So if you're using this for, some different project, a go-kart or something like that, you wouldn't necessarily have to buy one. I believe, coming from the factory, I don't think there's any oil in them. Nope. But I've got some oil. I don't even know if it tells you. It might tell you in the instruction manual. I think it's normally like a 530 or an SAE 30 that we run. But anyway, that's it. Nice little kit and caboodle. It's funny how they changed things. So the old one had a red gas tank on it. I don't know why. It's a Predator engine. This one's got a black gas tank, so whatever. But let's get this set up on the truck and let's get it bolted in. Hopefully it all works. Bolt patterns look the same, so let's set it up there and see. All right. Let's get the new one thrown up here. Set in place. Best I can anyway for now. Looks like everything lines up right. Pull rope looks good. Everything fits. I mean, it is it is what it is. So kind of line it up in there. I got my 4 bolts here that came out. Run them right back in. It's got a, I don't think they're rubber. They kind of look like rubber bushings, but they're not. Just these little spacer shims that are welded to keeps the motor up off the bottom of the cage just a little bit. I suppose that's a good thing. We'll put all 4 in loose, and then I'll come back and torque them all down. That way I make sure they all line up, because it's actually got a little bit of play in it. There's our motor on. Cut that zip tie off. I didn't cut it, just slipped off. Take that key out.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Kenzie. Take that key out. Slide our pump housing on. I've had these leak before. I know I've made videos about it leaking before. Look into bolt housing, and you know what? I need to go find some thread locker again, because that, I think, has saved my bacon on this thing in the past. And I don't know where my wife hides it, so I'm going to have to call my wife and ask her where she hid her thread locker from me. Alright, well, I struck out on the thread locker. My wife's got it hid somewhere, and I've been using hers for years, so I don't have my own. But whilst we're kind of at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put oil in the thing. These oil fill points really suck. They're real down low on the side. And they're hard to get into, even with a good skinny funnel. It's hard to get in here at this angle because they're so flat on the side of the pump or the motor.
Fancy?
Fancy, fancy.
What does it do?
It's motor oil.
Oh.
I should probably run something cheaper and trashier for the tanks. Alright, level that out. Let it sit here for a second. Think about all the things it's done wrong in its life. Whoops.
It's 210.
Might have got a little too full with her there.
You must check oil every 8 hours and put it properly.
You know what? If I'd have done that, I probably wouldn't have busted the last engine. Emerson, what's wrong, buddy? I might have gone a little overboard there.
Dad! Gray Jeep!
Where?
Right there!
Pulling in?
Yeah.
Oh, it's our mail lady.
Yeah.
Good job, honey.
Wait, Dad, did you know in that Gray Jeep there's like 2 steering wheels?
There are 2 steering wheels, yes.
That's fancy.
Yeah. Okay, we took a little bit of surplus out of there. There's a drain plug in the bottom of the engine to fully drain it. I just tipped it over and took a little bit out of the fill point. And it sounds like our postal lady's here, so I need to go see what she's got. Okay. Got the oil level dropped a little bit. That'll be better. I don't really know what this thing would do if it had too much oil in it, as opposed to not enough oil. Pump bolts, keyway. Okay, so I think y'all can see in here. Come on. I'm gonna rotate the shaft until I get the key on top, just so that way it doesn't fall out while I put the. Oh wait. This washer has to go in first. That goes in. Then the key. And all these bolts got to go back in. Uh-oh, now where's my extension at? I think we're filming, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. You better go get them goats, Kinsey. They're not supposed to be up here. Now we got Mr. Frank here.
Oh, I think he's right. Help us.
Alright. Yep, now our neighbor's here. Never a dull moment. Let's see what he wants. I'm gonna get these bolts put back in. I've showed you guys how to do this before, so I might just cut this out. I might just work on it while I talk to him. But I've showed y'all how to take this impeller on and off before. It's just nuts and bolts.
Dad!
Okay, so we got it all bolted up here. I don't have the main pump housing on it yet, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a little pull start. Put some gas in it. These pumps normally pop right off. We'll choke it, throttle down, turn it on.
Green and all the others don't.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Mr. Frank, do you have anything?
Okay, so there was your shot. Y'all got to see it running. That's great. That's what I expected. Get your finger out of the camera, sir.
It's not looking at.
Okay, well, don't try to put it in there. But I figured I'd just show you guys throwing this impeller and stuff back in. I know I've showed you this before, but this top little flapper got to line up. There's a little pin right here. I think y'all can see. Kids, please get away from the camera. I don't like you tussling around behind it. You're going to knock it over and break it. There's a little pin right here on top, which feels like it just wants to fall out. It does fall out. That's funny. But it goes in a hole up top here just to keep this thing mounted in the upright position. And actually, I think when you put the impeller on, I think that kind of holds it too, but I don't know. But it's just a little, it's really just like a little keeper pin just sits in there.
Daddy.
Why? That's not your bicycle. Go get your own bicycle.
I'm just equal.
Okay, so that just sits in there. And then we put our pump housing back on.
Old one.
Make sure your O-ring is still on there, which I don't know where else it'd be, but it's on there. Hey, stop whining. Kenzie, I asked you to get off that bicycle, please, because there's nowhere for you to get by. You're going to hit the camera no matter what you do. So these 6 T-bolts go in, and that's it. We'll be back in business. Now I just got to go around the pond, try to figure out how the heck I'm going to get my water hose out of the pond since it's floating out there in the middle and the pond's full. I need to try to rig up a rope and a hook of some sort.
Daddy, can you take my
I guess that's for a different video.